Hey everyone, I hope you've had an amazing Monday, and I apologize for not coming on this morning because I know several of you look forward now to these videos, but I was not going to forget today. I just had to get through everything I needed to get through today. So today's message: we judge others and ourselves through the lens of our past by projecting old experiences onto new circumstances. Practice seeing someone for the first time. This releases them from past projections that you've placed on them. See them as someone calling out for love. And I want to share two very personal stories with you that I will not give details out of respect and honor for both of these individuals. But this is something that has been about 13 years of intentional work for me to get to where I'm at today. So the first one was with my ex-husband. And I remember during our pre-divorce counseling, in one of the sessions, a woman pulled me to the side, and she was one of the counseling leaders, and she said to me, even though he has hurt you, you need to look at him through rose-colored glasses. And so at the time, it didn't quite hit me. And I spent a long time, probably about 8-9 years after our divorce, holding on to anger. As much as I tried to let it go, it would just sit there and sit there and sit there. And I'm sharing this because I know that there has to be someone out there that is currently walking in the shoes I was. And I hope that I can bring you the healing that you need to move forward. And so for many of those years, I actually had him blocked. He was blocked on my phone. He was blocked on social media. He was blocked in any way possible. And then there came a day where I got word that he was dealing with some very painful experiences in his life. And I sat back and I did exactly as that message said. I saw him as though it was the first time. And so what does that mean? That means I unblocked him, and I saw him as a human being that has feelings too. A human being that hurts too. It doesn't negate anything that happened between him and I. But in that moment, I made a choice that I needed to set myself free of those deep, ugly emotions, and I needed to set him free on my part, meaning letting him know that he was forgiven, letting him know that I saw him and understood the pain that he was going through. And so since then, him and I have been able to, reconnect, have conversations, just like normal friends would, right? And that's a blessing, to have two people that truly had deep-rooted pain in a marriage be able to forgive one another, express that forgiveness to the other, and move on in our own separate ways with kindness and compassion towards the other. Now, the other situation is with my biological father. And again, I won't, talk of too many details, but we have had a very strained relationship since I first met him when I was 18. And for a long time, I was hurt, and for a long time, I was angry that my relationship with him did not look like the way I expected it to be. and hoping that it would be some close father-daughter relationship. And I mentioned recently that I went to Puerto Rico last year. And that in itself was healing for me, because just like that said, I needed to see my biological father as though it was for the first time, in my heart, in my soul, in my spirit. And in order to allow myself to let go of anger, I needed to be able to go to Puerto Rico on my own. Because for years I waited for him, sorry, there's a helicopter. I waited for him to take me. And I would, that feeling would fester and fester that he wasn't taking me. He wasn't introducing me to my family, because a majority of my family still lives there. And I said, okay, I'm going to pray about this. And God said, go. And so I did. And I found some of my family members that lived there. And I introduced myself, or reintroduced myself, to one of them. And it was spending time with them that I got to learn who my biological father really was as a child, how his life began. And I knew in that moment when I came home that I had to allow my father to love me the way that only he knows how, because he was never taught. And I'm not going to get personal about his life, because that wouldn't be fair to him. But if somebody doesn't know how to love, how do you expect them to love you? And we have so many, and I apologize for getting upset, but we have so many broken men, broken fathers out there that never have been given a chance to express how they feel, because they were always taught to man up. They were always taught that men don't cry, men don't feel, you just work hard, you just provide. That's not true. And we wonder why our jail cells are full. We wonder why we have so many broken marriages and broken families. And so I ask you today that if you have somebody in your life that you've distanced from because of deeply rooted pain that you have, and you've never taken a moment to understand the root of who they are, to find out if there's a reason why they don't love you the way you expect them to. First, I ask you to pray and ask God to give you the words of love and kindness and compassion. I ask you to ask for your heart to be open and your ears to be open, so you can receive whatever it might be that that person needs to share with you. But to find true forgiveness, you have to see them for the first time, without the pain. That stuff is for you to let go. So I pray that, like I said, if you are in my shoes, or if you were in my shoes and you just don't know how quite to heal and how quite to forgive and how quite to let it go, first, go back and watch my videos from the last couple weeks on healing. Second, take that time to pray. And third, like I said, see that person for the first time. Now, this is not in a situation where you might have been physically abused or your life is in danger. These are just situations where you just have emotions that got intertwined and mixed up that could have ended differently if you both had done it the right way. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. And if you need to see yourself for the first time, allow yourself that space to see yourself with no mistakes, You've done nothing wrong. Offer yourself forgiveness and begin your healing on a new journey. I love you all, and God bless you. Bye.